grab your pen, grab a piece of paper. We've got great information for you today on Community Chat, and the one that's going to give that information to you, especially if you're in small business and you've ever heard those two words, social media, is Bill Mizrazi. Mizrazi, and that's Albanian. Let's talk about that first. Right. When did your family come over from Albania?
It was my grandfather that came over, and it was right at the turn of the century, about 1900, 1904, right in that range. And he came over and came over first by himself. Kind of had the country was in war, and he just wanted to be free. He wanted to get out of the represses of the Albanian organizations over there that were it was just a war country all the time, and he just needed to get out. He said, I want to get my family into freedom. So he walked out of Albania over some mountains and floated across the bay over to Italy and got on a boat. Took him about 60 days to get, I think it was about 45 days on a boat with people sick and dying coming over to America. And then about 8 or 9 years later, he went back, got his brothers and his wife and and he stayed for a couple of years. He had 2 children while he was there, and then they brought the children and his brothers and everybody came back over in about 1912. Settled in Tremont, Bear City area, Tremont area.
From Albania to Tremont.
Yeah, they actually, when he first came by himself, he kind of worked himself across the country. He was a Budweiser horse team driver for a while. He worked on a railroad.
Man, I should have met him earlier.
Yeah, the railroad brought him out here.
Make this show go a little quicker.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. But yeah, he's got a great history. My grandfather's kind of my idol. I'm a patriot myself. I love the freedom of being a part of this country, and my whole emphasis in everything I do is to work with entrepreneurs, small businesses, help them make a greater presence and have more opportunities. That's what this country's all about, is opportunity, and sometimes that's a little bit repressed from some of the opportunities that are available, but some of the things that hold us back from making that happen. And so I'm always trying to build programs. I've been in marketing for 40 years, worked with a lot of small to medium-sized businesses, developing business plans and building their business strategies, marketing strategies. I wrote plans, raised a lot of money for businesses, and been in a lot of new technology things. I was one of the first organizations here to put a team together to bring cellular phones into the area, and so had a fun time doing that. I was one of the first to bring 800 number marketing to the table, working with AT&T on some things, and then I was one of the first to bring another group of us put an organization together and brought the first voice over IP programs together. So
and you sit back and you think, man, that was so long ago, but it's not.
It's been in my lifetime.
A meteoric rise.
It has. Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that folks know where they can find you. And the company is City Clickers. And your website is what?
CityClickers.com.
Okay, well that should be easy enough to find.
Absolutely.
And so you've been part of this technological meteor rising that we've had here. Now the buzzwords seem to just be social media. And Facebook has really taken social media and put that into the forefront, but it's a lot more than that. So when you talk to an individual, I have my own company, and it's just me, or there are a lot of small businesses out there that are 3 to 5 people. How do you approach them when you say, hey, social media is a key and you have to be doing it because you can be either conspicuous by being somewhere or you can be conspicuous by an absence?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, the way one of the major approaches today is that the key, marketing has changed quite a bit. It's kind of turned the corner. Used to be you had to be involved in some kind of advertising that was reaching out and bringing the customer in. Today it's where you're positioned because people are looking for you. If you're in a social media network, if you're on a social media page, the more you can be on, the more places that you can be, the better, the more apt you're going to be found. Because now it's more in being in a place where people are looking than it is to go out and find people to bring them in. Because they got their phones to look at, they can pull up directories that have location-based technologies that they can find the businesses closest to them on a directory. If you're not in that directory, you're not going to come up. If you don't have product listed on the internet in an e-commerce fashion, when people are searching your product, they're not going to find your product because it's not listed. So social media is a really powerful tool for the local small businesses if it's used right. And a lot of people are abusing the social media network, and a lot of small businesses are trying to use Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and those are kind of the mainstays. When
Sure.
you ask people, you ask an audience of people how many social media sites they know, and that's about what they can name, 3 to 5.
That's right.
There's 65,000 social media networks.
I had no idea
65,000.
there were that many
Yeah,
either.
Yeah, there's that many and growing on a monthly
And my
basis.
company's a PR and marketing company.
Yeah, okay.
I've never suggested to any one of my clients that, hey, you need to be on 65,000 different sites. But you're right. If you want to get the printed word out there's Facebook, and the verbal type thing is you're going to do your tweets, and you have to have video to support yourself. So there's your YouTube, and there's your 3 to 5. But
Yeah.
of course, there's Vimeo and those types of things.
Yeah,
too.
there's all kinds of things. If you want to get specific in target marketing, niche marketing, and that's what those other sites represent. There's some of them out there that are better than Facebook and better than Twitter and better than YouTube for a specific purpose. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube got 1 billion viewers a day, so it's kind of hard to beat the traffic flow there. But they're not necessarily the traffic that's going to come to your business. When you go to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, if you're not working it right, you can get shut off there and not have access to one of those billion people a day. And that's the challenge most businesses are having. They don't know how to work it. It's kind of a scramble right now. Everybody's looking at all this. They know the traffic is there. They know the marketplace is there, but they're just not sure how to work it. And so that's what we've created at City Clickers. We've created a place to go out and work those social media networks, and we have a major training program that we teach people how to work those networks and bring people out of a personal environment into a business environment. And there's not very many business environments that exist in social media yet, because people don't understand that's where it's going to be most effective. Because you go out to Facebook, that's I've shut just about every business off that tries to do business with me on Facebook, because I go in there to just listen to my kids and see my family. Talk
Too
to my
evasive
kids.
for you.
Yeah, it's
That's
too
not
evasive.
the right platform.
If you want to come in and invite me to a place, but we went to a
Well, and that was Zuckerberg's initial thoughts anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any advertising on this. It's
Exactly.
going to be a social network.
That's right, for personal individuals that they start out with the colleges
Somebody
and the
along
kids.
the line convinced him to do otherwise, and
Yeah.
now it's becoming an invasive conglomerate of enough.
Yeah,
already.
it's like giving you access to all the phone numbers in the country. You're going to figure out a way to put them in a dialer and dial everybody every day. Somebody did that, didn't they? Well, that's what Facebook is providing to everybody now,
Yeah.
is access to everybody in the world practically, if you can figure out how to get there. But we went to a meeting the other day, and the trainer in there was teaching social media, and this is what a lot of them are training, is they were training them how to position themselves on a Facebook page, to go into your friends and comment on their blogs and on their messages. So, and the more you comment, every time you comment, it brings you up on the list.
Sure.
So, and I said to him, well, you know what? How would you feel if you went to your front door every day and the same person was standing in that doorway that you had to go past to get out of your house?
And it was somebody you really didn't want to see in the first
Somebody
place.
you didn't want to see.
You want pizza? No. How about this? No.
Even
No.
if it was your best friend, you don't want them there every day. You don't, and that's the marketing they're doing, and it's a wrong type of marketing. It's really spoiling the whole industry. You go there, you share a comment or two with people, you get them interested in you. You put a link on there that can bring them out to if you're wanting to bring them to a business environment, then bring them out to a business page. And we've created an environment in the business environment in a community setting, so that when you bring them out into our page, you're actually also bringing them into a community setting. So you're sharing in a network where if you just build a page on Facebook, then that page, that fan page, is only your page on your network.
Okay.
You can get your people coming there and a few of their people, but nobody else knows where that page is.
For those of you who may have just joined us, this is Bill, I'm Doug, and we're talking community chat today. We wouldn't be talking with Bill if he wasn't doing business in Weber and Davis counties, and he is. And his business is City Clickers, and you can find him at cityclickers.com. This time goes really fast, but as we look at media, and you said, it's probably the baby boomers that still probably pay more attention to a newscast advertisement or a Sunday newspaper advertisement, but we're seeing those kind of go away. They still have their place.
Right. Local media is always going to have its place, and our platform that we've set up is a means to share with that media, because I believe people will always want to read a newspaper. There will be some, not everybody, but there will be some want to read a newspaper. Television is always going to be there, whether you watch the commercials or not. It's another thought, but it's always going to be there. Radio is always going to be a place, but the majority, this younger generation coming up, they want things quick. They want it at their fingertips. They want it on their phones. They want to see stuff right now. That you're not going to have, they don't want the delay that television provides. They don't want the delay radio. They want it right here. They want to carry in it with them.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it's going, and the market is turning rapidly for these industries, for the old standbys. What City Clickers is doing is creating a digital network in a community basis that will help assist in the loss of that local traffic that an advertiser's been able to target for the last 100 years. If you don't have radio, television, or print, how do you get to the local consumer? Mm-hmm. You can't do it on Facebook because the local businesses aren't there. There's consumers out there, but the local businesses are not there. So there's some challenges for the whole social media environment for the people utilizing it to make it more effective to their use. And we're just turning that corner. It's a huge
we are definitely just in the beginning of this baby.
Everybody's still trying to figure it out. Yeah.
And more, we're still thinking that the information is coming through our computer.
That's right.
And our computer is getting smaller and smaller, whether we're going to the iPad or right now to our smartphone or our Android or whatever. And the audience for that is getting older and older.
And the fastest growing audience in social media and in a lot of the technology are the baby boomers, because they got a lot of time on their hands.
It takes us longer to learn it.
Takes us longer to learn
it. But once we do it, we kind of enjoy it.
That's right. Yeah, and once we learn it, man, we get so much more done in a day. We don't really have to get in our cars and drive everywhere. We can just do it right here. We can sit in our homes in the comforts and our old recliners and take care of things. So.
Well, I know we're probably. Are we out of time yet, Bill? We'll keep going until I feel like shutting this off. But that's okay. Stay with us because I want to ask this, Bill, about Twitter.
Okay.
Some people live and die with Twitter. I finally got an account a couple of days ago, and I really couldn't care less if I tweet or not.
Okay.
What are your personal feelings about Twitter and how valuable that is, besides saying, "Oh, wow, I'm at the Sonora Grill"? Because a lot of people have thousands and thousands of followers on Twitter, and they swear by it as a business tool.
They do. Here's the thing about Twitter. Twitter is a sleeping giant. Twitter is the number 3 search engine in the world. Mm-hmm. People go there to use it as a search engine. And here's why. Because there's a lot of people, I'm still learning to get into Twitter myself, and Twitter, and utilize the capacity that it has. Most people don't understand what it is, but here's the power of Twitter. When you, if you want to, and it comes back to what people are how they're shopping today. When they get online, and what the first thing they want to do, they don't want to go to a manufacturer's page and see what they're selling. They want to go to a review page, and find out what people are saying about the product they want to get.
Good point.
Twitter. You go to Twitter and keyword search local community, anything you want to do, you can put a keyword search in there, and you can find what hundreds of people are saying about a product on the spot right now, instantly. That is the most powerful thing that Twitter's about. And if you talk to the owner of Twitter, and I've listened to a couple of his interviews, that that's what he designed the whole program for. It's been kind of a communication thing, he says, and it's a social media thing. He says it's not that. It's a directory and it's a search engine. And when it all comes out in the wash, that's what it's going to be. But it's kind of started out being that quick chat, 140 character program that people can say something quickly. But a lot of times what they're saying is, they're saying they went to this restaurant, and if you stay with them, you'll find out how the food was in that restaurant, whether you should go there or not. Yeah. So, and if they're in buying a car and they're having an experience buying a car, stick with them, because pretty soon you're going to find out how that experience was at that particular dealership. Yeah. That's the power that's in there.
And you said they're probably the third. I would imagine. I have no reason to doubt they're the third search engine. Google and YouTube probably changing places as the top 2. Yeah. I had heard that YouTube actually had passed Google at some point as the top search engine, but that's probably.
For video, I mean, there's more searches going on for a more exclusive market.
But it goes right to where you're talking about on Twitter, and your tweets, that people were using it to find out those testimonial type things.
Right.
That's why they're using YouTube for the same reason. Yeah. They don't want to just find out about something. They want to see it, and they want to see people talk about it. And so those search engine optimization, the SEOs of Google and YouTube and Twitter. You're going to be hearing a lot more about those folks in years to come.
Yeah, see, Google has even identified with that in their searches. So the first thing Google does when you put in a keyword search, they don't search for the product. They search for the review. They'll bring you a review. They'll bring you a review before they'll bring you the manufacturer of the product or the retailer of the product. They bring you the review because they know people want to know about that product first before they shop for it. So Google actually arranges their searching to do it that way for us.
Well, I would imagine these folks probably have additional questions, and if they do, let them know again your website, and do you offer seminars, webinars, instruction for small business? What do you do?
We do. CityClickers.com. We right now have a training program to teach you how to work YouTube, so all of the social medias. We do every Wednesday night at start from 5 to 7. Actually, it's Thursday nights now. We're switched it over. Thursday nights from 5 to 7 o'clock, 2-hour meeting. We're now archiving all of our training, so it's going to become online, available for anybody to come in and start learning how to use these programs, how to put them to use in your business, how to make that, because there's a lot of things that businesses need to understand. Because when you say YouTube and you say video, or you say Facebook, on the surface, there's some things you can do, but when you get in and drill down on any of those programs, there's some amazing things you can do to drive local traffic. And we just encourage people to really get into social media, because it's an environment that's mostly free, and that's big for small businesses. We can show you techniques on how to market your business and cost you very little, if anything at all, unless you wanted to go just a little bit bigger onto the next stage of how to apply the advertising levels to this. But you have access to local communities. 1 in 3 people are on Facebook. That means 1 in 3 people in your community are on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So how do you tap those people in that community? There's some real ways to do that are powerful to make your business function in a local basis. So.
And there's no reason to pretend that it's a balking horse.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is moving forward, folks.
Yeah,
and if you're a small business or a larger business or just an individual business, if you don't take advantage of what's happening in social media, you are just simply going to be left behind, because this giant's moving forward.
Absolutely, no question. You've got to get on this. This isn't like, well, you got to advertise and you got to do that. No. This is, you got to be on it. Yeah. It's a whole lot different ball game than you got to advertise. This is, you got to be on social media.
Thank you, Bill. Bill's company again, City Clickers. You'll find them at cityclickers.com. Give them a buzz and maybe take advantage of some of those courses they have available for you, your family, your friends, and your small business. This is why we have community chat. Hopefully it's been an educational opportunity for you today. We certainly hope it has. Until the next time, have a very pleasant afternoon.
Thanks, Doug.